ya preceded by a kasra, which, where does that come from? Al-Jawf. That's the letter of mud, actually. Also, we should point out that the ya with the sukun, the letters of the Jawf, the vowel sounds, are also known as the huruf al-mad, the letters of mud, which are the elongations. So we don't say fa'a'inuni. We say fa'a'inuni. Fa'a'inuni. Good. And then we have a waw with the sukun preceded by a dhamma, and then a ya with the kasra preceded by ya with the sukun preceded by a kasra. Fa'a'inuni. Good. Now sometimes they're not written necessarily like this, like as explicitly. How about this? Yeah. So now look, this noon doesn't have an alif after it. It has what we call like a dagger alif. Okay? Yeah. So it's not ahlaknahum, but it's ahlaknahum. But it's not written out like na, like we traditionally see it. So in the Quran it'll come written in different ways, and that's to accommodate the different riwayat, and that's the way that it was written down, so it's been passed like that. So we say here ahlaknahum. So again, part of giving the hamza its due is actually giving fully reciting it, means exhaling on the ha. So most people will recite this as ahlaknahum, ahlaknahum, okay? But it's ahlaknahum, ahlaknahum. Good. Yeah. How about this one? Make it easier. Yeah. فَسَبِّحْهُ. Good. So now again, this is an example of a place where it gets sort of muddled if you don't pay attention in the Tajweed class. Because what you'll do is you kind of blend the ha into the second ha. Some people say فَسَبِّحْهُ, and they won't give this ha its due. It won't be pronounced from its makhraj. So فَسَبِّحْهُ, فَسَبِّحْهُ. Good. فَسَبِّح. Yeah, so that's actually even more tricky, because you'd have a sukoon preceded by a sukoon preceded by a shadda. Okay, so it's like a long line of joining with the previous letter. So fasabbih. So, but it wouldn't be fasabbih. You see, it's a subtle distinction. If it was just, if this ha wasn't here, it would be fasabbih. Okay, but this is actually fasabbih. Fasabbih. It's tough. Fasabbih. Okay? But we say fasabbih. Who? Fasabbih who? That's a really good question. I should ask my teacher. Another example. Somebody try it. Okay, so there's no alif here though. So there's a shadda on the ba. Yeah. But what about the ha? Good, exactly. And you can start to see that in order to do this, you have to be moving your mouth a lot. We haven't done the tongue and the the makharij of the tongue. But you'll see that in order to pronounce these letters correctly, you have to actually move your mouth. You have to exert energy. When I started reciting, and my teacher was very particular, when we were reading, my mouth was actually sore the next day. Like, that's how much they make you move around your mouth. So it's صبحهم صبحهم صبحهم. Yeah. And so a lot of the movement of the mouth is actually, sorry, it's actually supposed to be a fatha. صبحهم. So a lot of the movement of the mouth is actually to show that the letter is thick or thin. It has tafkhim or tarqiq. So that's another thing we'll start to discuss, which is some letters have thick, are naturally thick. Some letters are sometimes thick. Like, for example, we say the letter ra. When it has a fatha, we say ra. But when it has a kasra, we don't say ri. We say ri. And so we recite it thin. And so in order to make something thin, we have to smile. So that's why there's a lot of movement of the mouth on all of these. So questions? No? Okay. So that'll be the makharij lesson for today. So we covered 2 of the areas, right, out of the 5. We did the jof and the, yeah, the what? Exactly. The halq. It's a ha. So it's not halq. Okay? It's halq. Al-halq. With the ha. Okay? So, and then within the halq, there was 3 different makharij. Okay? With how many letters? 6 letters. Okay? And so each week we can count off how many letters we do. So in terms of makharij, next week what we're going to do is we're going to start the tongue. And so within the tongue, they split it up, if you look at this slide, as طرف اللسان and غير طرف اللسان, which is the front, at the tip of the tongue, and non-tip of the tongue. So we'll start with the non-tip of the tongue. So we'll start with the letters that use, like, say, the back of the tongue and the sides of the tongue. And we'll do that, which I think is this 3rd slide, next week. And then we'll do the طرف اللسان, the ones that are on the tip of the tongue, like tha and tha and things like that. We'll do the following week. Good. So now what I want to do is, since we're tying this together, I want to start the first, we'll go for about 10 more minutes. Well, I want to start the first rule of nun sakin and tanween. So if you flip all the way forward to the section on ahkam an-nun as-sakina wa tanween, which are the rules of nun sakin and tanween. And the reason that we're going to go over these is because we just covered them. So it makes sense to teach these 2 things together. So now, I said there's the rules of nun sakin and tanween. So what exactly am I talking about? We have a nun, the letter nun, with a sukoon. Okay? It's going to be followed by another letter. So a nun sakin will always be followed by another letter at any time. Even if it's the end of the ayah, we look, let's say, for example, to the next ayah. How does it start? And so, and the same rule applies for tanween. So tanween is actually 2 fathas or 2 kasras or 2 dhammas. That's going to be tanween. So we say tanween fatha or tanween kasra or tanween dhamma. And what is the reason for it? So if we have a tanween, if we have, let's say, in a ba with tanween dhamma, okay? This is the functional equivalent of, okay? So wait, this is something that you have to be very clear on. The rules that apply to nun sakin are the exact same for tanween. So if we have a ba, I don't know why this ba looks so bad. Okay, with a tanween dhamma, it actually is the exact same thing as writing bun with the ba with the sukoon. So a lot of times we recognize the rule when it comes to nun sakin, but we neglect them when they come to tanween. So the same rules will apply. So this noon sakin or tanween will always have a letter coming after it.